Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. Your key to the week this week is the Hierophant card. Yes, it's got all of its traditional meanings, larger institutions, etc. The feeling that I get from this is dual. One, this week there could be some form of what we like to call a gatekeeper that comes to you with either an opportunity for advancement. This is really strange actually, because I had some really cray dreams last night, like properly crazy dreams last night. But this could be a gatekeeper of sorts, or somebody that is very well established comes to you and offers you an opportunity, but you're and I talked about this in the Mercury retrograde video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Myself and Denise Matthew, who is a human design expert. This really speaks to me of a lot of you getting an opportunity from somebody who is very well established, or maybe even a larger institution of some kind coming to you to say, look, we'd really like to work with you, or maybe we would like to assist you in some way. Obviously, you just need to check the fine print to see what you're getting, and more importantly, what you're going to have to give for it. Another way that this could show up for you is this week, it's like you're taking stock of, or you're looking at the systems or the established sort of status quo within your own life, especially in all of these sectors, and asking yourself, where does something need to be renewed? Where does something need to be freshened up? Where does something need to be adjusted or adapted? If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options, you have the Five of Swords. So you got the Five of Swords with the Hierophant card, which is also number 5. 2 5s represents a vigil. If you haven't seen the weekly general, do check it out this week, because I talk a lot about prayer, mindfulness, meditation, etc. Which is really, this week especially is going to be very, very important. And not necessarily, even though the Hierophant card does have a lot of religious overtones and connotations, it doesn't have to be in that sense. And also, if you haven't seen it, check out the Jupiter in Aries video that I put out also with Denise Matthew. And the reason being is because I talk about Jupiter moving into the 9th house for Leo people. So whether you're a sun, moon or ascendant Leo, this is effectively 9 signs beyond your own sign. And so this is a big deal for you guys, especially with all of this. Now, the reason that's important is because the 5 of Swords, you might be feeling a little bit more tetchy than usual. The 5 of Swords is a card of disputes, arguments. It can be, fraught communication. And because this is in your actions and options, this is you being a little bit spikier than usual. What is it that is off-putting you, my dear Leos? This is what you need to ask this week. And because it is the 5 of Swords, you're being asked to really consider where maybe you are overdoing it, where maybe you're giving too much, where maybe your input is not being received or respected in the way that it could be, because you haven't been invited to speak. You're just kind of throwing your opinion out there. So this is something to consider. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Ace of Swords. That's the Ace of Cups even, which, look at it, it's absolutely beautiful. You got this underneath the Hierophant card. I really do feel that is a higher institution, organization. This is a connection to an institution or an establishment of some sort that really helps you understand not only your place in things, but how you are progressing. I really feel this is an opportunity for a lot of Leos. Excuse me. The other thing is your communications this week are coming from the heart space, right? That's what the Ace of Cups is saying. But, you know, the saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So really check in with yourself, or more importantly, read the room. Is what you're saying being asked for? Is this a time to offer unsolicited advice, or is it a time for you to maybe keep quiet? You know, if you're anything like me, that cue has to come a couple of times before you kind of get the hint. I jest. I'm a lot more conscientious than that now. But you know, and it's funny because I had this conversation. It was almost like a debate, actually, I think, with an Uber driver probably about 6 months ago now, and he said, well, with what you do, doesn't that count as an unsolicited opinion? And I was like, well, it's a really good question, but I just put the content out there. I don't go around sort of saying to people, you must listen to my video, right? Like, people choose to view or not view, as the case may be. So, you know, if you're thinking about it in terms of this and you do something like what I do, it doesn't count, not in my personal opinion. And that's because, like I said, I put the stuff out there. People choose to view or not view, as the case may be. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I kind of get the feeling that this week, if you've made an appeal or a petition to a university, to a school, this is you finding out that you've been accepted to your chosen school. This could be a week where you are getting favor from some person in a position of authority. You're being shown some sort of grace or opportunity from a higher up, from you know, a teacher or a professor. Somebody is giving you maybe not necessarily privileged information, but they're certainly showing you favor. And with Jupiter moving through the 9th house, it would totally be possible. For those of you that are working for somebody else as an employee, this is new opportunities that come up within the establishment. So this week, let's say you joined a company, you've heard of a job description or a job title, and you're like, yeah, you know what, I really want to do that. You haven't been able to, there's been no positions in that field opened up. And so you've kind of sat on the outside like, you know, I want to be right over there, but I haven't really got the, you know, there's no opportunity for it. Well, this week that could open up for you. Somebody could be leaving, somebody could be getting promoted. And so it offers you the opportunity to step into a role or a title that you have wanted, maybe even coveted a little for some time. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this, I believe, could be the start of the recognition that you've wanted or needed for something. It could also be, for some of you, you're giving birth to a project that really, really speaks to you in some way, shape or form. And I kind of get the feeling that this is literally that. I love it. I think it's marvelous, as they say. So yeah, I really, really like that. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, I think in a lot of ways, this is you looking at your heritage and the traditions that you hail from, whatever they might be, whether they're religious, whether they're spiritual, whether they're cultural, whether they're all of the above. I think you're looking at all of these things and you're forming new conclusions about who you're going to be this week. For your love and relations, you've got the 4 of Cups. I love this 4 of Cups, because it's like, you know, he's being a more active participant rather than kind of sitting in a funk. I usually say to people when the 4 of Cups shows up as well, like, you got to snap out of your funk now. So for those of you that are single, if you are connecting with someone, it's likely to be somebody that's very learned, very well educated, somebody that may be from a very different background to you, maybe from a foreign culture, maybe from a distant land, maybe from a different time period. I will say, I do get the feeling that this will be an age gap relationship, and at the moment, especially because you've got the Ace of Cups, it is just something that's starting out now. With that 4 of Cups, you may not even view it, and I said this for Cancers, they had a very similar message but with different cards. You may not, you might see this and kind of feel like, yeah, you know, we get on, but I can't see that there's any potential. Like, it might not be evident to you at first. However, it appears that they do. They, like, whoever this person is, they see you and they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm into this person. You might not be able to see it until a later date. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, because of that Five of Swords, there's an element of this where you may seem a little bit more resistant to other ideas or outside perspectives this week. You got to find a way to try and not be so fixed. For your money and materials, you have the Seven of Pentacles. A very interesting card to have here. The time, effort, and especially money that you've put into an idea that you're about to put out into the world now has all the chances of success to be seen. This is, yeah, I kind of get that. So especially because you've got this underneath the Ace of Cups. It's like something that you've put a lot of time, effort, and money or resources into now can start to at least show promise to give you the results or the rewards. It's like whatever investments you've made of time, money, efforts, resources, they now come through. It's not coming this week. This is like you can see what the results are likely to be and it looks good. The other thing with that Seven of Pentacles, it can be very slow. So, you know, if you've had issues with this or you've had issues with kind of getting things started or off the ground, don't fret too much. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your neck, your throat, and your jaw. Excuse me. With the Ace of Cups here, I would say really this is a good week to look after your, actually, because you've got a double hit of this energy with the Hierophant card. This would be a really good week to look after your voice. If you're anything like me, you know that your voice is your warning system. As soon as my voice starts to go, I'm like, okay, got to slow down. You know, I need to start taking a break or looking after myself better. When it comes to your home and environment, the Seven of Pentacles, this looks like a decision that's needing to be made in the here and now about whether you're going to stay where you are or whether you're going to move on, or more importantly, what needs to be done to the home in order to make it the place that you really want to be for, you know, for however long moving forward. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.